All right, YouTube. This Detroit's HPTV coming to you out of Detroit. It's Wednesday morning, the day after the primaries. But I have a serious question I want to say. Is any Patriots in the building this morning? Where the Patriots at? Because what I'm going to talk about is real controversial. But I'm going to show you clips so you can see what I'm talking about. Now, they say American was a Christian nation, and was founded on Judeo-Christian ethic. Okay, so that means that the American populace are mostly Christian, and then you have Muslim. But with being a Christian, you have a Bible. Just like being a Muslim, you have a Quran. The Bible is clear on a lot of issues. You know what I mean? A lot of issues that the Bible is clear on, no matter how much people try to change the Bible, reinterpret it. It was clearly written in the laws of Moses and in the New Testament what was permissible in a society that was based on their relationship with God. So you have a party here, the Democratic Party. We're going to call them the Demon Crossy Party. Everything in the Bible that God said don't do, they say you do. And they call it your liberal freedoms. You see how upset they are about abortion? But you a Christian nation. How did abortion jive with your religion? Oh, you put your religion to the side because you want to have abortion. So, the Democratic Party, they want to allow your child to go to school and say, hey, I feel like a girl today. Could I put on a dress? And the teacher could put a dress on your child. This is the Democratic Party. This is the Democratic Party that accuses Donald Trump of everything they do. They're messing with an election. They're using the judicial system as a weapon against their political opponent. These are the democracies, the Puff Daddies, the Epsteins, the traffickers, the scandalous, the notorious. That's why one of their major tools toward an enemy is to slander you. They try to find something on you and blackmail you and slander you. And then if they can't do that, they find another way to try to destroy you because the Democratic Party has become 100% wicked. And won't nobody say that. You can't tell their wickedness. Look at the wars they're fighting. Look at their real policies. Look at how they destroyed the nuclear family with all these nefarious Luciferic ideologies. But they want to tell you don't vote for Trump because they want Biden in. Because, like the Bible says in Revelations, the devil deceived the whole world. You just got to think about who are the degenerates in American society. It's those who consider themselves to be the most liberal. Who are the real nefarious actors? But they want to say, oh, yeah, all conservatives, racist, and if you black and you follow them, then you got to be a clown or a fool. But let's get right back down to the battle of good against evil. The Bible said we don't fight against flesh and blood. We fight against principalities and wickedness in high places. That's why 2024 is Armageddon. And that's why they coming out swinging and they saying all of this. They really talking tough. The Democrats are. They talking tough. But like the Patriots know, and anybody else who's conscious knows, the more liberal and demoralized you are and immoral you are, the weaker you are in any combat type situation. Because you've already broken your spirit down by all your compromises. So you don't have enough conviction. So that's why you sit behind your desks in your offices and over phones and try to make decisions because when it comes to actual combat, Democrats can't do it. The Democrats, under presidents in the United States, the Democrats have never won anything. Didn't y'all forget they lost to the Republicans in the Civil War in the 1800s? Everywhere they go, they get kicked out, like Biden in Afghanistan. But yet they talk tough, they talk reckless because they have the protection of the Constitution, the one that they really don't respect. They so mad that the Supreme Court ruled that Donald Trump cannot be taken off a ballot. How are you going to take somebody's candidate off a ballot just because you're so enraged? Well, I didn't want to talk to y'all too much this morning. I want y'all to see this clip. We're going to start with Whoopi Goldberg first. They're going to show you the nefariousness in their thinking about how they got Nikki Haley being a fifth column in the Republican Party. Nikki Haley's a fifth column, a rhino, a Democrat posing as a Republican, being used to hinder the Republican candidate. Traitorous. But anyway, this is for fair use under the 1976 Copyright Act for commentary and educational purposes. Let's look into the ladies of the views mentality. Follow me down the rabbit hole.
So today is Super Tuesday. It's the biggest primary day leading up to election 2024. Voters in 15 states and one territory are heading to the polls for Super Tuesday. Now, Nikki Haley's coming off a primary win in D.C., but you know who is still far ahead like bad gas. This morning, he was on Fox and Friends telling her to pack it in. Take a look.
She misrepresents a lot of facts. She's not doing nearly well against, she's not doing very well against Biden. She shows these polls that nobody ever heard of. There is no path. What's she doing other than hurting the Republican Party? She stood up and many, many times said, I've never run.
This is a fact. This is a lady running against her own party's candidate. He's saying it, but watch how they joke it away because the View expects to be smarter than anybody that watches that show. You can see how condescending they are to their fans. They know that to sit there and listen to Joy Behar and the rest of the women of the View, you have to be really kind of brain dumb. You know what I'm saying? So they automatically think they're smarter than their audience. That's why they talk down to their audience. If you ask yourself, as a conscious thinking person, why would Nikki Haley even be still running at this point, other than the fact to hurt Donald Trump, why he's dealing with these court cases and whatever? She's acting as an agent of the Democratic Party, clearly. But people won't say it.
President, he was a great president. I would never run. And then she ran. With all of that being said, our party has to come together because we have to beat the Democrats, and they play dirty.
I know. Oh, yeah. God. So the question is, will voters supporting Nikki Haley still vote Republican if you know who is the nominee?
Well, Whoopi, I'm glad you asked. So this has kind of been the million-dollar question. Listen, it's very likely that in short order, Donald Trump and Joe Biden are going to be the respective party nominees. That's just the way this is trending. But Nikki Haley's consistently gotten between 30% and 40% in these primaries. And the question has been, okay, but are all those people, once it's Trump, just going to flock over to him? The Associated Press has this survey out that found, I don't know, they will not. So Iowa, 2 in 10 Iowa primary voters said they would never support Trump. 1/3 of New Hampshire voters said they'd never support Trump, and 1/4 of South Carolina voters. This is a trend across the country. I'm telling you, there are Republicans who are saying they cannot be with him after everything that we've seen.
So do you think she should run as a third-party candidate?
No, I think she should stay in the race. We don't know what could happen. He's going to, the convention's coming up. There could be a conviction. But all of this to say, Donald Trump has a general election problem. Joe Biden does too. These New York Times CNN numbers have Donald Trump beating Joe Biden outside of the margin of error. Yes. And on every major policy issue, voters are more with Trump. No one should be resting easy. This is going to come down to a toss.
This is going to come down to y'all.
You see how they mapped out? These are all Democrats. I mean, and these are staunched down Democratic operatives. They are just saying, yes, Nikki Haley, you're doing the right thing. They've already had Nikki Haley on the show. So we've seen the level of politics that they play in this country. But the thing about it is, with the internet and with so much information, how can people be that blind? Like, you notice they will never discuss them on The View why Joe Biden said that he didn't want his children living in an urban jungle because they went to school with black people. How he hung around with Strom Thurmond. How he said you ain't black. How he said they're gonna put you back in chains. How he actually created bills that hurt the black community, and how he let 10 million migrants overrun the inner cities. While he executed another plan for some higher ups that's hidden behind a curtain. They'll never talk about that. Look at what they talk about. We're not talking about all the trafficking going on in this country. We're not talking about none of these nefarious and wicked things. They just want to be in power and to remain in power to continue to undermine the moral fiber of the citizens of this country. Remember, the devil's trick was to make the people unacceptable to God. And the only way he could make the people unacceptable to God was to erode their morality, so that God would not even hear their prayers, because they had become so evil and so wicked, and all they prayed for was evil and wickedness. These Christians, these so-called Christian women, all they talk about, they want is, we want abortions, we want power, we want to be able to tell people what to do. We want to be able to be whatever gender we want on whatever day we choose, and we want the rest of the world to acknowledge it and accept it as a fact. We want to control. And they're going to try to demoralize everybody so that we don't stand on anything. Let's finish.
Turning out.
Can I just jump into something here? I keep hearing about Joe Biden's age, etc. I just want to show you a tape of Trump and what's happening to the man. It's sad. Watch.
In Venezuela, did you just see Maduro? Venezuela, it's unbelievable. We are a nation that just recently heard that Saudi Arabia and Russia will even Argentina. They went MAGA. You know, Argentina, great guy. He's a big Trump guy. He loves Trump. I love him because he loves Trump.
Who is this guy, Argentina? His chauffeur, Vinny Argentina? Who is Argentina? He thinks it's a person.
He's talking
He's losing it. I'm telling you, just keep watching him, and you will see. Joe Biden stammers, stutters. He gets things done. He's old. Yes, we know he's old. But this guy is losing his brain power. And he really is.
And he's not that much younger
No,
than Trump.
3 years.
And what I wanted to point out, we were talking about it backstage, is Obama had the same disapproval rating at this time in the race when he won. Okay, and so let's as Biden. So let's keep that into context. The other thing is, I know that maybe some of the stats are saying, 2 out of this many people in Iowa won't vote for him, and some people in New Hampshire won't vote for him. Well, they did vote for him in the primaries, right? And so he won the primaries overwhelmingly. And I think you're right. The bottom.
We're gonna stop here because I got one more clip I want you guys to see. But you see how their mentality really is. To put into contents what I've been saying about, this is supposed to be a Christian nation. This is supposed to be a democracy. But you can see how wicked and treacherous the politics, the people, and the society has become. And anybody who ever been fishing, they knows a fish rots from the head. So if we are living in a rotten condition in this country right now, where they try to act like it's all good, it's because of who's running it at this particular point in time. Hold on, I want to show you one more clip. I ain't gonna keep you too long this morning.
The crew over at.
Now, this is another video of a podcast. This is Denitra over here, African Diaspora. And she's going to do a reaction to this new podcast with Lisa Ray, and Tiffany Cross, and some guy who all them recently been fired from mainstream media. So they come down here slumming on YouTube, bringing their propaganda, trying to get back in the good graces of the powers that be. So, you know, they YouTubers now and they blogging. But, you know, they must don't know what blogging is really about. Because we finna look at their podcast. I'm finna look at it and we finna critique their politics.
The Native Land Podcast that consists of Angela Rye, Tiffany Cross, and Andrew Gillum. They are big time Democrat pundits, if you will. They had a little dispute over a clip that was played on their podcast. Check it out.
Trump. I say Trump. You with Trump?
Yes.
Why is that?
Lied to me.
Ooh, okay.
We're playing this. We're playing this in our podcast.
I don't think we should play.
They mad because they was playing a clip and all those black people were saying they from Trump. They're for Trump. They said, we playing it on this. I'm playing y'all on mine. Ain't this what we do? Let's watch this.
Any of that.
Yeah, I don't think any of it. I don't know.
I
didn't know we
I want to play some of it.
When you see that many voices spewing that much incorrectness, I think it may potentially leave people with the opinion that the constituency of that group is larger than what it is. I hear people with those kinds of critiques who didn't arrive at the conclusion.
They keep trying to convince the people that the numbers of black people that's voting for Trump is being overestimated. No, it's not. It's enough to where they can still get their bootlickers to go in, but the ones they're serious and decide they're gonna vote Biden out, they're gonna vote Biden out, and that's gonna be enough. You want to convince people that it's not really gonna be that way. Don't go out and vote. No, Biden got to be voted out of here, and you people with your debauchery.
And that then Donald Trump was going to be the answer. I hear critiques of, I ain't had nothing done in my community since da-da-da-da-da-da. I hear that. They don't draw the logical conclusion that Donald Trump then is going to be the answer, the cure. He ain't that. Bottom line is what we are bottling up here are over 400 years of systematic oppression of a peoples.
So as you saw and heard there, that was a clip of black people saying that they, would vote for Trump. And then Tiffany Cross was like, we played that on this. And, Andrew tried to explain that those people were misinformed and they're trying to correlate the 400 years of oppression and all this other stuff with Donald Trump, perhaps maybe being the better choice. For lack of better words, they were saying those people are stupid and that they don't know what they're talking about and how dare them and all this, that, and the other. But it's like, y'all gonna keep on trying to downplay that black people say they want to vote for Trump. And see, that's the Democrats' problem right there. Instead of just saying, okay, let's really get to why they want to vote for Trump. They want to call black people stupid and ill-informed. He need a civics lesson and all this other stuff. Instead of saying, well, yeah, Biden is a horrible choice for black people too, because he is not much better for black people. And in a lot of cases, Biden is worse for the black voter. But they won't do that. They would rather be disrespectful, if you ask me, to black people talking about, you don't know what you're talking about. Why would you want to vote for Trump? He said he made more money than Trump. But maybe they did. Do you know what's in the bank account of all black people in America and when and how they made their money? No, you do not. But that's y'all especially from that class of people, I said black people, who think they know everything and we gonna tell the rest of you black people what to think and how to think. You don't get to do that. Worry about yourself. And that's the other problem. Y'all so busy trying to make it seem like we, meaning outside of them, don't know what we doing. Like we could not possibly know how to go into the booth and decide for ourselves outside of the talking points of the Democrats. We know.
Oh, this is a public service announcement to my brethren and others who got those PPP loans, and Biden signed that law in to give him 10 years to come for y'all. Y'all gonna give him another 4 to come for y'all. Y'all better be out there really trying to make sure Biden don't get in. Y'all need to be out there with the masses of people saying we want him out. Because don't forget that law. It's still on the internet. Look it up. Biden gave the Department of Justice a whole 10 years to track down everybody that got a PPP loan fraudulently. So think about that too. Because, see, we're going to give you all the reasons why you need Biden out of here. You got to think about everything, put everything together, and you know. Another 4 years of him, we throw.
How to do that. And if y'all say democracy is in danger, well, aren't y'all helping to put it in danger when you tell black people you can't make your own decision? Because democracy means that I have a say-so and I get to decide. But y'all sitting up on these podcasts, these Democratic podcasts talking down on black people, talking about, for lack of better words, you're stupid and ill-informed because you want to vote for Trump. That don't make black people want to go and vote even more. Don't make me want to do that at all, right? But since you're so smart, why don't y'all ever give a full-throated conversation about how harmful Biden has been to black people? You won't do that because you're on the Democratic train no matter what. Vote blue no matter who. That's what you guys are. So how ill-informed is that to say vote blue no matter who? Y'all know what's blue around these parts? The Blue Man Group in Las Vegas, they blue. You gonna vote for them if they just because a crayon is blue? You gonna vote for it because it's blue? It's stupid. So that's ill-informed. So you hear somebody talking about they want to vote for Trump, believe them when they say it. Okay, it's probably a firm decision. I would imagine for anybody.
I'm gonna stop there because it's still early in the morning. This is real clear because you can see what you're seeing, and the Democrats, they see things how they see them. But what's influencing them may be a whole lot different from what's influencing the Patriots. See, what may be influencing them is to be able to continue in the debauchery and the undermining of their so-called Christian nation. Why the Patriots may wish to go back to a nuclear family and go back to country first. Those are two opposing ideas, and I think that most adults, if they give an honest assessment of the situation, they would clearly see that they've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and ran them up, like Malcolm X say. So, sign until you are Detroit, keep your head on a swivel. Patriots, say you up. Peace out of Detroit. Like, share, and subscribe.